Yuval Harari, Homo Deus, A Brief History of Tomorrow. Homo Deus, A Brief History of Tomorrow. The Right to Happiness. The second big project on a human agenda will probably be to find the key to happiness. Throughout history, numerous thinkers, prophets, and ordinary people defined happiness rather than life itself as the supreme good. In ancient Greece, the philosopher Epicurus explained that worshipping God is a waste of time, that there is no existence after death, and that happiness is the sole purpose of life. Most people in ancient time rejected Epicureanism, but today it has become the default view. Skepticism about the afterlife drives humankind to seek not only immortality but also earthly happiness. For who would like to live forever in eternal misery? For Epicurus, the pursuit of happiness was a personal quest. Modern thinkers, in contrast, tend to see it as a collective project. Without government planning, economic resources, and scientific research, individuals will not get far in their quest for happiness. In your country, if your country is torn apart by war, if the economy is in crisis, and if health care is non-existent, you are likely to be miserable. At the end of the 18th century, the British philosopher Jeremy Bentham declared that the supreme good is the greatest happiness of the greatest number, and concluded that the sole worth aim of the state, the market, and the scientific community is to increase global happiness. Politicians should make peace. Business people should foster property, and scholars should study nature, not for the greater glory of a king, country, or God, but so that you and I could enjoy a happier life. During the 19th and 20th centuries, although many paid lip service to Bentham's vision, government, corporations, and laboratories focus on more immediate and well-defined aims. Countries measured their success by the size of their territory, in the increase in their population, and the growth of their GDP, not by the happiness of their citizens. Industrialized nations such as Germany, France, and Japan established a gigantic system of education, health, and welfare. These systems were aimed to strengthen the nation rather than ensure individual well-being. Schools were founded to produce skillful and obedient citizens who would serve the nation loyally. At 18, youth needed to be not only patriotic but also literate so that they could read the brigadier order of the day and draw up tomorrow's battle plans. They had to know mathematics in order to calculate the cell's trajectory or crack the enemy's secret code. They needed a reasonable command of electrics, mechanics, and medicine in order to operate wireless set, drive tanks, and take care of wounded comrades. When they left the army, they were expected to serve the nation as clerks, teachers, and engineers, building a modern economy and paying lots of taxes. The same went for the health system. At the end of the 19th century, countries such as France, Germany, and Japan began providing free health care for the masses. They financed vaccination for infants, balanced diet for children, and physical education for teenagers, They drained pestering swamps, exterminated mosquitoes, and built centralized sewage systems. The aim wasn't to make people happy, but to make the nation stronger. The country needed sturdy soldiers and workers, healthy women who would give birth to more soldiers and workers, and bureaucrats who came to the office punctually at 8 a.m. instead of lying sick at home. Even the welfare system was originally planned in the interest of the nation rather than of needy individuals. When Otto von Bismarck pioneered state pension and social security in late 19th century Germany, his chief aim was to ensure the loyalty of the citizens rather than to increase their well-being. You fought for your country when you were 18 and paid your taxes when you were 40 because you counted on the state to take care of you when you were 70. In 1776, the founding father of the United States established the right of the pursuit of happiness as one of the three unalienable human rights, alongside the right to life and the right to liberty. It's important to note, however, that the American Declaration of Independence guaranteed the right to the pursuit of happiness, not the right of happiness itself. Crucially, Thomas Jefferson did not make the state responsible for its citizens' happiness. Rather, he sought only to limit the power of the state. The ideal was to reserve for individual a private sphere of choice, free from state supervision. If I think I'll be happier marrying John rather than Mary, living in San Francisco rather than Salt Lake City, and working as a bartender rather than a dairy farmer, then it's my right to pursue happiness my way, and the state shouldn't intervene even if I make the wrong choice. Yet, over the last few decades, the table have turned, and Benjamin's vision has been taken far more seriously. People increasingly believe that the immense system established more than a century ago to strengthen the nation should actually serve the happiness and well-being of individual citizens. You are not here to serve the state, it's here to serve us. The right to the pursuit of happiness, originally envisaged as a restraint on state power, has imperceptibly morphed into the right to happiness, as if human beings have a natural right to be happy, and anything which makes us classified is a violation of our basic human right. So the state should do something about it. In 20th century, per capita GDP was perhaps the supreme yardstick of evaluating national success. From this perspective, Singapore, each of whose citizens produce on average $56,000 worth of goods and services a year, is a more successful century than Costa Rica, whose citizens produce only $14,000 a year. But nowadays, thinkers, politicians, and even economists are calling to supplement or even replace GDP with GDH, gross domestic happiness. After all, what do people want? They don't want to produce. They want to be happy. Production is important because of it provides the material base of happiness, but it's only the means, not the end. In one survey after another, Costa Rican report far higher level of life satisfaction than Singaporeans. Would you rather be highly productive but disrespected Singaporean, or a less productive or but satisfied Costa Rican? This kind of logic might drive humankind to make happiness its second main goal for the 21st century. At first glance, that might seem a relatively easy project. If famine, plague, and war are disappearing, if humankind experience unprecedented peace and prosperity, and if life expectancy increase dramatically, surely all that will make human happy, right? No. When Epicurus defined happiness as the supreme good, he warned his disciples that it's hard work to be happy. Material achievement alone will not satisfy us for long. Indeed, the blind pursuit of money, fame, and pleasure will only make us miserable. Epicurus recommended, for example, to eat and drink in moderation and to curb one's sexual appetite. In the long run, a deep friendship will make us more content than a frenzied urge. Epicurus outlined the entire ethic of do's and don'ts to guide people along the treacherous path to happiness.